Commission Christian Radio presents The Seventh Son, the story of King David of Israel, written for radio in 13 episodes by Colm Flanagan. Episode 10 is entitled The Rebellious Son, Part 1.
David, my brother, king of all the people of Israel, successful in war, loved by the Lord, husband to Bathsheba and Michal and others too. And it's the final bit of that list where lay one of my brother's greatest weaknesses. He didn't do family well. I've already recounted how his love for Michal, daughter of Saul, took second place to becoming king. And once away from her, he'd had children by other women, some of them not even Israelites. This was something that displeased his Lord, and he knew it. It was to cause a great deal of trouble. His adulterous affair with Bathsheba, leading to the murder of her husband, had ended with a dire warning from the prophet Nathan that its consequences would be bad, and so it was to turn out. David had a daughter, Tamar, by one of his foreign wives. She had a brother, Absalom, and Tamar was a beautiful girl, so lovely that another of David's sons, Amnon, developed an obsessive desire for her. He called it love, and one day he confided in me.
You see, I can't stop thinking about her. There's no way I can save being with her the way I want. It's making me sick.
Well, as you've asked my opinion, I would say you need to make yourself forget it. Look, Amnon, Tamar is your half-sister. It isn't healthy to even think of behaving the way you seem to want to. I know she's a lovely girl, but you can't have her.
Why not? I mean, as you say, she's only my half-sister. I mean, what's wrong with that?
Your father can't and won't allow it, Amnon.
But I'm the king's son. Surely I can do what I want.
Oh, what makes you say that?
Jonadab told me.
Jonadab. Watch that one, Amnon. He's too clever by half, and don't take that as a compliment.
You just don't like him because he wants me to stand up for myself rather than bow to your brother's wishes every time.
Oh, no, that's just not true.
Anyway, it just doesn't matter. I've got a better plan.
Which is?
I'm not telling you. You'd only go and tell my father.
And so this headstrong young man devised a plan to sleep with the beautiful Tamar. He pretended to be really ill and asked that David send Tamar to prepare food for him. She was a good cook too. David, not knowing what was in his son's mind, agreed.
Come on, Amnon. Take some of this. I've made your special bread just the way you like it. I've spent hours on it, so you mustn't leave it. Come on, eat it while it's hot. It'll do you good. I hate to see you ill like this.
I'm sorry, Tamar, love. I just can't. I feel so awful.
I'm getting really worried about you. Shall I call for a doctor? I'm sure my father would send his best man.
No. Just stay with me, Tamar. I may feel a little better soon. Maybe I'll just go on up to bed. Tell you what, send the servants away. Then give me half an hour and bring me up some of the bread to my room. I may feel better lying down.
Tamar, totally ignorant of what her half-brother was planning, did so.
What? Who is it?
It's Tamar, Amnon.
Of course. Come on in.
I've brought you the bread and some broth as well. Won't you try some?
I feel rather weak. Would you come over here and feed some of it to me? Yes, closer a bit. Come here.
What are you doing, Amnon? Let go. You're hurting me.
Oh, Tamar, I love you. I want you so badly, and I know you love me too.
No, Amnon, no, not that way. You misunderstand.
No, I don't misunderstand, Tamar. Come on, we're on our own.
No, Amnon, no, don't force me, please, no. I'm your sister, it's wrong. Think of yourself, and what will others think?
Too bad.
Oh, no.
Come on, Tamar. So that's that then. Not bad at all, Tamar. Now, you'd better get out of here before somebody comes.
But Amnon, you said that...
Oh, that? Don't deny that you're a lovely girl, Tamar. But maybe you're right. Maybe you're not for me after all. So you'd better go. Make sure the servants don't see you. I mean, you wouldn't like to get a bad reputation, would you?
Don't send me away like that, Amnon. That'd be even worse than what you've just done.
Oh, well, if you want to do it the hard way, I'll get the servants in to throw you out. So get your clothes back on and get back to your own place. Come on, hurry up. I'm waiting, Tamar.
And that's what he did. He humiliated her by putting her out into the street in her torn clothes, then locking the door behind her. Very soon Tamar's brother Absalom heard from his distraught sister about what had happened.
So, what am I going to do, Absalom? How can I ever get over this? My own half-brother, son of the king, raped me in his own home.
Oh, Tamar, how could he? But he's the king's favourite, and it's just your word against his. He'll say you agreed, and his servants will back him up. Maybe it's best we keep this quiet for now. Don't tell anyone what happened.
But how can I just forget it?
Oh, I know it'll be hard, but try not to think about it. Tell you what, you can come and stay with me. Amnon won't come near us. If he does, I'll kill him. But I promise you this, Tamar. He'll pay for this. Oh yes, he'll pay.
Amnon didn't come near Tamar again, of course. In fact, on the outside, it seemed as if Absalom and he remained friends. Even when David heard the truth about what had happened, as he inevitably did, he did nothing. His anger didn't extend to actually punishing Amnon in any way. After all, Amnon was indeed his eldest son and his favourite. So Absalom bided his time until 2 years passed. Then he invited his brother Amnon and some other sons of David to a special celebration he was giving.
So, brother, you've had a good year with your flocks of sheep.
I have indeed, Amnon. It's been grand, and it's paying for all this. Cheers.
You know, it's great to have such a good friend and brother as you, Absalom. How's your lovely sister Tamar keeping? I haven't seen her for ages.
Tamar? Oh, she's fine. Quiet about the house, you know.
Still making that special bread of hers. Very tasty.
No, she doesn't do that anymore. Seems to have gone right off the idea of making bread, Amnon. I wonder why. Still, there's no accounting for women, is there?
No, indeed. Maybe she needs a husband. Actually, maybe I could help you there. I've a friend who's on the lookout for a good wife. But anyway, there are more important things. I'll have a bit more of that drink, Absalom, if it's going. You know, I think I'm getting a bit tipsy.
Certainly. Have all you like, Amnon. Enjoy it. It'll be your last, you filthy rapist. Get him, boys!
What?
Kill him!
What's going on, Absalom? Ah!
And this is for what you did to Tamar, Amnon.
Ah!
Goodbye!
And so Absalom killed his half-brother Amnon. Just him. The king's other sons fled and told David, and Absalom fled too to his grandfather's country. David was furious. He even wanted to send the army to force Absalom back, but Joab, the army commander, advised him against it. A further 3 years passed.
Ah, Joab, how are you? Have you seen the king recently?
Well, he's not good, sir. He can't stop thinking about Absalom.
Yes, I've noticed that too. A bad business. First he hated him for killing Amnon, and now he wants to try and bring him back. But he can't think of how to do it. He needs Absalom. He just can't admit it to himself.
I was, wondering...
Go on. No doubt you're thinking of a cunning plan, Joab. You always do.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment. There's a woman I know from Tekoa who might be able to help.
A medium? Oh, no. I don't think that's a very...
No, nothing like that. We all saw what happened to Saul. No, she's just a very canny lady with a reputation for wisdom. I'm going to have a word with her. I think she may want to petition the king very soon.
And so, one day at court, Joab presented the woman from Tekoa.
Your Majesty, please help me.
What's the matter, my dear?
Well, Your Majesty, it's like this. I'm a widow. I had 2 sons, but, well, one got into a fight and killed the other.
Oh, that's very sad.
Yes, indeed, Your Majesty. But that's not the end of it. Now my relations are telling me that I should hand over my other son because he must die for killing his brother. But I think what they really want is to get him out of the way so that they can take over my land. As a widow, I'm helpless, and there'll be no one once my son's dead to carry on my husband's name.
Yes, I see. Well, go home, my dear. I'll take care of this.
Will you swear by the Lord that no one will be allowed to kill my son?
Yes, I swear it.
Thank you, Your Majesty. You are gracious and wise. May I say something?
Why, yes, of course you can.
Your Majesty, you have a son who killed his brother. Surely it's time for you now to let him come home to his father. Just as the Lord takes us back into his love when we repent of our sin. I pray that you will have his wisdom in this, just as you have shown to me and my son.
Yes. Now, I'm going to ask you a question, my dear, and make sure you tell me the truth. Did my army commander Joab put you up to this?
Yes, Your Majesty, he did. But only to show you the problem in a different light. You have the wisdom to know the right thing to do.
It seems I've already made my decision. Joab, go and bring Absalom back.
And so Joab brought Absalom back. But then David decided he wouldn't receive Absalom at court. In fact, he refused to see him at all for 2 more years, until finally Absalom himself brought matters to a head. Joab had been refusing to take Absalom's messages to the king, and so...
Well, I'll get Joab's attention another way.
Absalom set fire to a field of barley belonging to Joab, which had the desired effect.
Absalom, what do you mean by it? How dare you damage my property?
Ah, Joab, how are you?
Never you mind how I am, you young pup. Why did you send your servants to set fire to my field?
Well, I had to get your attention some way, Joab.
You cheeky scurf! How dare you?
It works, didn't it? Calm down, Joab. I'll recompense you for the damage to your field. But you didn't pay me any attention before. I want you to ask my father, why did you bring me back here from my grandfather's place? I was better off there. I want to see my father. If he still thinks I am guilty, let him have me executed.
Joab did calm down. Then he went to David and told him what Absalom had said. David sent for Absalom, and they were reconciled. Absalom bowed to his father, acknowledging his right to kingship, and David kissed him. They were friends again. The feud was ended. Or was it?
In episode 10 of The Seventh Son, the narrator and seventh son was played by John Lander with the commissioned drama team in Belfast. Episode 11 is entitled The Rebellious Son, Part 2.